Welcome once again here to Bethel University in Mishawaka, Indiana. My name is Paul Condry, the longtime baseball voice of the Pilots. Glad to be joined here by Alex Stout, the member of the baseball team, and excited about my 20th season behind the mic as the voice of the Pilots. Alex, what's neat about this is when Seth came back to Mishawaka as the head coach and manager and the tallest hog in the trough, as I like to say, we've had a chance to be on this journey together. I'm excited because he's excited. He really, really likes the chemistry, the dynamics of your club. So let me follow up on a conversation I had with Seth about that. Do you like the chemistry and the dynamics of your team?
Yeah, it's completely different than the past 3 years that I've been here. Pre-COVID, obviously, we had a really great fall in 2019, went 11-0, but I didn't enjoy playing baseball. It wasn't very fun as a freshman with a bunch of guys that were bad apples. And so slowly we've turned that around. It's not just coach, it's not just some of the upperclassmen, but it's everybody. We're all buying into this new culture, and it's really changed a lot of things for the team.
All right, so last year, ERA of 5.56 with 11 innings pitched as a part-time guy, but, I mean, you can really do it all. From a baseball standpoint, where you're playing third base, where your primary situation is. But I like the fact that you're in a position where you're getting better each and every day. Slugging percentage at 343, on base percentage at 355. Very, very formidable numbers. Mm-hmm. Talk about how you improve on those numbers during the off season, and will we see maybe a little bit more power from you this spring?
Sure. Yeah, I have big goals this year for hitting. And I think it boils down to the form thing. We always look to hit the ball hard in the cage, but what I've always been told is, having a good swing doesn't mean you're always going to hit the ball hard every single time in the cage. You may miss hit, but just focusing on the form, making sure that you're going into the games with the right swing, and it gives you the best chance to hit the ball hard. And so I've worked on that a lot, and I've helped other guys on our team to make sure that we come out hitting the ball super hard and supporting our pitching staff.
This baseball has changed dramatically since I've been here. When Seth and I started together 20-some years ago, we had some dynamic hitters in this group. The Guevara boys, I look at those guys, and they were just hitting the ball. I mean, I remember one doubleheader, we hit 8 home runs in one doubleheader. Yeah. And and the game has changed. The ball's changed. The bats have changed. Mm-hmm. So you guys have kind of had they've kind of dumbed it down a little bit. Sure. So I know that you didn't grow up in that era, but when you look at maybe some of the numbers that are in the record books, and you look at those things and say, boy, how did those guys do that? Do you ever look at baseball and see how it's evolved like that?
Yeah, it's completely different, and just like everything, it's always evolving and changing, but that doesn't stop us from shooting for those numbers. I've talked to several different of our hitters and some of the best hitters on our team, and a lot of us are going for double-digit home runs. Our pitchers are going for really low ERAs and high strikeout percentages. And we think that we can actually achieve those numbers and put us in a position to win the Crossroads League.
I think that we talked with Frank Plesac just a little bit ago, mm-hmm. and when he's on the mound, he creates all kinds of bad situations for hitters. So Talk about what's playing in the infield behind him, because he's going to – you got to be on your toes because you're going to get that slow roller. Somebody may connect. So defensively, you've got to be on your tiptoes, if you will.
Yeah, totally. And one of the best parts about the team this year is that we're returning pretty much everybody. Right. We're very confident behind him, and we definitely think that we can support not only him but the rest of our pitching staff. And speaking from experience in the indoor setting, doing live at bats, we're very happy that Frank is on our team and not the other team. So,
all right. So let's discuss the Crossroads League. Last year, you guys were 19-17 in the Crossroads League. Mm-hmm. Very, very formidable in one of the best leagues in the country. What do you think? When you look at the Crossroads League, where do you think you guys stack up?
Well, just like Frank said, I think we can win it all. We moved up 4 spots from the previous year to last year, and we don't think that there's anything stopping us from moving up from 5 to 1. It's just taking it game by game, pitch by pitch, and we got 4 games against every opponent. We think that we can have a chance to at least beat everybody once in the league, and we think we can take that top spot if we keep putting in the work.
Do you like the scheduling, the way they say, well, you'll play 4 teams here, and you won't see them for another year? Because the next time you'll see them, you'll be 4 games at that location. Mm-hmm. And so, for instance, Huntington is an example. Huntington will be here this year for 4 games. but you won't see them again until next year, and we have to play 4 games. Do you like the way the schedule makers do it?
Yeah, I think it works out for most conferences. Since we're a pretty close conference, I would have liked to see a lot of them, 2-2. It would be a little bit more of a fair match. But at the end of the day, there isn't a significant home field advantage necessarily at NAIA level baseball, and the best team's often going to win based on your pitching and your hitting and your fielding. So we go out there and play wherever we're at and take it to whatever opponent we got. We know we have a lot of good competition, and we want to take it to them wherever we're at.
Okay, so your favorite professional baseball player, both as an everyday player, and who's your favorite pitcher?
Everyday player, it's been Manny Machado for a really long time. Makes sense being a third baseman now. I didn't know that I was going to end up as a third baseman in college, but just love his play style, love his attitude, and just kind of that go-getterness out of him. Favorite pitcher? I would say Chris Sale. Just the way he commands the zone, kind of a different style, a different kind of arm angle, and I really like what he does.
Okay, the funniest guy on your baseball team is?
I do like Frank's answer of Seth Ambrose. I'm going to come back with a Tommy Dolan, a very funny outfielder that we have as well.
Okay, the most competitive guy on the team?
I mean, I'm pretty competitive, but I would also agree with Frank, with Jeremy, and also his fellow Grand Rapids buddy, Cooper Tolson. They're both very competitive and really have a drive to win, along with the rest of the team.
Your favorite thing about Coach Seth Zartman?
I think he comes ready to go every single day. He has a huge workload with a big family, taking care of the grounds at Bethel. But he gives it his all in all areas of his life, and I just appreciate that out of him, as well as his faith base for our team, and that's something that we've improved upon as well with our culture, is a lot of guys following Christ this year, and we're working towards, showing the love of Christ to everybody.
That was going to be my final question. Can you speak to the spiritual development of this group as a whole, and certainly this is a great place for you to be able to share your faith.
Yeah, totally. It's something that people have just been more open-minded this year.
Sure.
A lot of veteran guys, going to church, being a part of our Bible study as a team, something that we started this year, hosting it at, we call it the Baseball House, where 14 of us live. And that's been a huge part of just being in God's Word weekly, whether they are individually or not. We want to make sure that we're providing that mentorship for our teammates and our program going forward.
Once again, glad to be joined here by Alex Stout of Bethel University. We'll be back with more from Bethel right after this.